Shinies have arrived in Once Human, which are legendary variants of your favorite deviants. They come with unique bonuses to make auto-farming resources even more efficient, add powerful bonuses to your base, and even shine during combat. You can have a blue Digby Boy, pink Festering Gels, orange cats. These are just some of the many you can get your hands on, but it can literally take forever if you don't know what you're doing. So guys, welcome to my ultimate shiny hunting guide, in which I'm going to cover everything you want to know about it, from all the different shinies to the best farm spots with the best stats, by the way, tricks to secure your first shiny in no time, if it's worth your time, and so much more. So without further ado, let's get down to business. Yesterday morning, I kid you not guys, I managed to secure 6 shiny deviants in a matter of like 20 minutes. That was insane. While at the same time, you also want to make sure you focus on quality, not quantity. To get your hands on the best deviants, you want to farm specific spots, while they can also be extremely rare. As of today, you can only secure a handful of deviants as shiny variants, which also come with unique powers or bonuses. For some deviants, like the Nutcracker, you want to have a certain progression on your server. Phase 4 is required for those pro mode dungeons. Let's focus on the Extradimensional Cat first. This one is actually one of the easier ones, which is also why I managed to secure 6 shinies in about 20 minutes. What you want to do for this one is basically visit all the different towns. We have the Mayor's Market, Deadsville, the Tallgrass Inn, as well as the Greywater Camp and Blackfell. Currently at the Mayor's Market, World 4, let's quickly check out the interior, as this is the place where you can always pick up the Extra-Dimensional Cat. This right here, as you can see, a white one with black stripes, but what I think is an amazing technique to basically spam farm this specific deviant, a chance of finding a shiny. You simply want to hop from one phase to the next one and pick up all the different ones you come across, as every time when you server hop, well, there's going to be a chance for it to be right there. But this is what you can do in basically every single town. So we just checked out the Mayor's Market. Now, right now we could go to, for example, the Tallgrass Inn. Also on World 10, unfortunately, it's not there, so I'm just gonna stand right next to the teleportation tower and hop to the other one. Look at that, we've got another one right here. This one also a non-shiny. I mean, they are pretty rare to secure. For Deadsville itself, you basically want to check out the Red House. We're currently in World 1, so we're gonna have a pretty low chance of securing one. I'm just gonna quickly switch to World 2 and stand exactly right here. If the letters of this deviant don't pop up, well, it means it's simply not there. So we're going to switch the world once again and see if it's there. Voila! A level 1 Extra-Dimensional Cat popping up once again. Of course, you want to focus on the highest levels possible. This one right here is not going to be it. So in my opinion, what you should do is focus on the higher level towns as well. Let me quickly show you the location in Greywater Camp. You also want to stand right next to the teleportation tower and check out the wish machine, as this is where you can find the Extra-Dimensional Cat, and I think this one right here is just a regular one. While for the one in Blackfell, you want to be inside the inn. Sometimes you will find it at the same floor of the teleportation tower, while it can also be on the first floor. These trucks just spawn in and out all the time, but here we go, guys. We just managed to find a level 5 shiny deviant. Let's go. Probably the best one I found so far, but it's very important you focus on both the skill and activity rating. So this one right here has 5-3, which is pretty interesting. Earlier, I also managed to secure a Growshroom with 5-1. Check it out right here. And this one comes with 3-3. So it's always important you focus on these high values. The higher the values, the more efficient these variants, especially the territory deviants, are going to be for farming resources. Festering Gels and Butterflies Emissaries are gonna have better combat bonuses. So yeah, let's focus on the Butterflies Emissary next. I see a whole lot of people farm at this specific place, the Gaia Cliff Monolith. It's a teleportation tower, which you can pick up right here. For this specific deviant, I definitely recommend you to only focus on farming in the servers which are less common, like World 7, 5, 9 maybe. So you first leave the main road, you take this smaller one to basically reach the facility and continue to the west to this first house. This is where you should be able to find the butterfly. It's gonna be lower levels though, but still what you want to do is enter the place walk downstairs, and this will bring you to a bigger area where you can pick up the butterfly. And wow, you got to be kidding me. This one definitely looks blue. I mean, that's a shiny variant right there after just a couple minutes. Unfortunately, this one only comes with a skill and activity rating of 1, but still it's beautiful compared to the red one. Let me show you a place which you should definitely farm if you want to find the absolute best stat rolls for this specific deviant. Go to the left, Securement Silo Alpha. This is where you will find the teleportation tower for, what is it called? The Alpha Institute. We're currently on World 4, and as you can see, this guy is just quickly switching the worlds. I'm 100% sure if we go to World 5, he's probably checking that out. Ah, there he is. So this is basically what people are doing right now. I'm just gonna skip ahead a couple worlds, so I'm definitely not gonna meet this guy, and possibly we can snatch away one of the emissaries. I want to let you guys know that this is a place that actually shares spawn with another deviant. So you can find not only the butterfly's emissary right here, but also another one. So what you want to do is basically drive inside right here with your motorcycle. Let's put on the flashlight so it's going to be a little bit easier to spot what we need. You're going to jump down right here. Unfortunately, there is not a boss at this specific location, but this is where you should be able to find higher level butterfly emissaries. I think mine right now is 4-2, but you can also find orb lightnings right here. So it can definitely be a nice place. Look at that, another try. This time we managed to secure a level 2 butterflies emissary, but of course you basically want to rinse and repeat the process until you get your hands on a nice roll, and with a little bit of luck, it's also going to be shiny. Oh man, this one is so beautiful. Anyways, let's move on to the next deviant, the Festering Gel, for which you want to make your way to a specific dungeon. And ooh, look at that. We have a Sprout Conquest going on. But what you want to do for this one is make your way to the Monolith of Greed. This dungeon can be done from level 10, while I definitely recommend you to crank up the difficulty as high as possible. Do it on hard and maybe even pro to find the best possible stat rolls for this deviant, especially if you want it shiny. Can be pretty challenging though, while you also need to check out your progression on the server. On phase 3, Divided World, you will start getting access to hard modes, while for tier 4, this will give you access to pro mode. So only today, we finally got access to the level 51. Anyways, for showcase purposes, I'm gonna quickly run a normal difficulty, and look at that. After we've defeated the boss, a Festering Gel dropped. Sometimes it feels like it's only like 20% drop chance. Sometimes they drop like 2 or 3 times in a row. But especially on higher difficulties, I think you want to farm this one, as they are most likely going to come with much better stats. Next up, we have the Growshroom, for which I did a lot of farming earlier, and I was lucky enough to secure one with a skill rating of 5. Unfortunately, not yet shiny. But for this one, there are actually a whole lot of places where you can pick it up. Unfortunately, most of them are not really efficient in terms of farming, because yeah, you're gonna have to search whole perimeters to basically find a nice amount of mushrooms. My 2 top favorite places would be the Bear Cave, which you can find in the very western part of the world. I think it's right there, these coordinates, minus 790, minus 3150. You can jump in the sinkhole right here, and there's going to be a ton of bears, but also mushrooms. But this one doesn't come with a teleportation tower. An even better place would be the teleportation tower right in between the Mayor's Market and Sunbury. As if you travel to it, very important, you also want to switch the world to a less crowded one, let's say. Walk towards the northwest, and this is where you will also find one of these sinkholes. You just want to fall down or jump down, and bam, this is where you will find a massive cave system with a whole lot of mushrooms as well. You can start picking these up, and no way! What the actual... You got to be kidding me. That was on camera, ladies and gentlemen. We just found a Growshroom extra large with a skill rating of 4 and 5. It feels like someone out there just decided like 4M deserves it. 4M just is back at it again with new content. I mean, my PC was in repair for like 2 weeks, but boy, oh boy, this just happened. A 4-5 shroom skill rating, that is insane. Oh man, I still can't believe this, but let's get back to business. So what you want to do is just continue to the western part of the cave, pick up every single mushroom you can find. Sometimes you're gonna have to jump on top of some things to pick up even more of those, but there's gonna be an average of 30 to 40 mushrooms you can pick up right here. And after doing this, you will have a small chance of securing a Growshroom. This time I got one first try, which is pretty lucky. Usually doesn't happen this quick. Most of the times it's like towards the end of the cave system when I managed to secure my first Growshroom. And after that, guys, very important, you will most likely not find another one. Instead, you're gonna have to wait for like 2 to 3 hours to repeat the process, as there is a cooldown on securing these deviants. Oh man, look at this beauty. Anyways, the same farming method pretty much applies for both the Digby Boys and the Fetch a Lot Bunny. Let's start off with the Digby Boy, as in my opinion, the absolute best place to get your hands on a higher level one with a chance of it being shiny would be this specific teleportation tower. Southeast of the Forsaken Monolith, south of the 73 source extraction point, and southwest of Blackvale, as right here you can find a whole lot of silver nodes, gold sometimes as well. With a little bit of luck, you can even come across 3 gold nodes in one run. But what you basically want to do is start at this specific teleportation tower and then head to the northeast. I have my Digby Boys working in this specific zone, but you just quickly want to scan the area to the north. If you don't see any silver or gold nodes, you want to make your way to the east. Check out the riverbank on the other side of the river, of course. Most of the times it's going to be tungsten, tin, copper, and whatnot, but with a little bit of luck, you should also be able to spot some gold and silver. This time that's not the case, so we're just gonna walk to the south basically, and we're gonna look at the southern part of the river as well. This is also where you can see a whole lot of nodes spawning in the distance, and if it's not there, you simply want to make your way back to the teleportation tower, which is like only 30 meters away. Wait a second, this is where we have our first silver node. So if we use a tool, we can break it, get a nice amount of resources, especially with the treasure hunter. It's going to be a whole lot more of that. Right now, what we're going to do is simply switch to the next phase or world. This is, by the way, what the Nutcracker looks like, because for specifically the Digby Boy, what you want to do is break either silver or gold nodes. Your very first Digby Boy on the server can be secured after you've drilled some tin, but with silver, you will have a pretty high chance of finding a Digby Boy. On World 8, we managed to find 2 silver nodes, so let's break this one right here. I mean, there should be a Digby Boy inside, right? But it doesn't look like it. We are not really lucky today. Wow, the server is very active right now, so it's very likely that this might not be the best place to be, to not only farm for the Digby Boy, but also the resources in general, as I already shared this one in an earlier video, as it's the top spot basically to get your hands on gold and silver. So let's already make our way to the next Deviant's location. There are actually more than one, but this is basically what you want to focus on. These massive trees scattered around the world, and specifically, I think the Red Sands area is amazing to check them out. We've got one right there, we've got another one right there. I mean, if you look around, I already marked a couple of those on the map. We've got one a little bit northwest of the Forsaken Monolith. We've got one left of the Sunshine Farm. We've got one north of the Giant Stairs. But if you break these specific trees, you also have a chance of securing that specific Deviant, which will help you in your territory to gather all sorts of plants. But it's important that you don't use a chainsaw, but just take out a pickaxe. If you chop down the tree, every swing, just like with the Digby Boy, there will be a chance you secure this Deviant, and with a little bit of luck, it's gonna be that shiny variant. There we go, a Fetch a Lot Bunny. So after we've broken the tree, unfortunately, there is gonna be a cooldown on the bunny itself. So yeah, it's not gonna be really interesting to stay on this place to farm the tree. But if the Fetch a Lot Bunny didn't pop up, what you can do, I think this is pretty interesting, and wow, we've got a gold node right there, is basically Drill all the nodes. Just pick up all the resources you can find in the area, as it seems like if you break a nice amount of these, the tree will spawn pretty quickly once again. But we're just gonna keep drilling, and there we go, the tree respawns, which happened like less than a minute after we've destroyed it. So right now we can just chop it down once again. So if you didn't find a Fetch a Lot bunny the first try, you can basically rinse and repeat this process to possibly find it. But still, once you've picked up one bunny, you want to wait for like 2 to 3 hours, just like with the others, to pick up another one. Anyways, back at the Digby Boy farm, let's check this place out a little bit more. And look at that, we instantly spot some gold right here. May the force be with us. It's not the case. And that's some silver in the distance. Maybe this time, guys, we can finally secure a Digby Boy. At last, almost 1,000 silver. But this is where we secured another one. This one comes with a skill and activity rating of 4. That is amazing, actually. Now, last but not least, we have one more to talk about, the Nutcracker. For this one, you want to make your way to the Forsaken Monolith. If we interact with a Rift Beacon, well, this is where you will find the Forsaken Giant, which you can only do on Pro difficulty. Recommended players 4, well, I think it's also very doable solo if you have the appropriate gear. It's very important, if we press escape, you want to make sure that your world is on phase 4, because this is where you will gain access to the dungeons on Pro mode. Only then, if you take out this specific boss on, of course, the Pro difficulty, every time when it's downed, you will have a chance of finding the Nutcracker. So you're just gonna have to deal with this boss as long as you find that specific deviant. And with a little bit of luck, of course, that will be a shiny variant. Now you're probably wondering, is this even worth your time? I mean, how rare are these deviants? I was lucky to secure this blue butterfly today, as well as the Growshroom and a couple other rares like the Extradimensional Cat Good Fortune. I actually picked up a whole lot of these earlier, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I was pretty lucky as well. Farmed like 100 cats and I think like 10 of those were shiny. One Growshroom after a couple days trying. I also got 0 Fetch a Lot bunnies, 1 butterfly after I think 20 drops. This right here, by the way, is the orange variant, but you can definitely tell that shiny hunting is extremely difficult. It can take a lot of time, dedication. I didn't find a single gold or blue Digby Boy. Especially on a crowded server, farming for these can be a true pain because, for example, the butterfly can be picked up by others as well. So if everyone is farming it at the same time, you will simply not be able to pick up a single one, and securing a shiny is gonna take literally forever. So maybe it's gonna be even more interesting to just simply purchase one from another player, while of course the ones like a Digby Boy, the Growshroom, they all have random drop chances if you chop down trees, drill nodes and whatnot. So if you have the time to spend, it can be a fun extra to have in your base or use for combat, of course. While honestly, if you can only play an X amount of hours per week, this is definitely not something you want to focus on. But yeah, there you have it. Everything you want to know about shiny hunting deviants in Once Human. If you found the video helpful, it would be amazing if you could spare 1 second of your time to hit that like button, and of course share your thoughts about the farms in the comments down below. Maybe you even have some tips and tricks for the community, suggestions for future videos. They're welcome right there as well. Right now though, it is 4 AM out. I want to wish you an amazing day. I'll check you in the next video or live stream. Peace.